Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, first of all, chosen, I want to talk to you all about my journey in discovering how to address the Most High. This is from my own personal perspective. And so obviously you use your own discernment to determine what resonates best with you. So as you all know, most of the time growing up, you come up in a religious structure, regardless of what category it fits in. And generally, most of the time, you are guided to pray to the Most High by addressing the Most High, or as you know, religion will call God, as a male, right? Usually as Father, the Our Father prayer, or, when you're talking about the Most High creating, in the book of Genesis, from that moment, it's talking about the Most High being male, a male presence. There's no mention of a feminine presence when the Most High is being addressed specifically in the biblical text. Now, of course, if you go way back predating biblical text, there's many, many different references of the Most High, the source, the creator of all, being both male and female. But over the last 6,000 years or so, we can say that the powers that were have pushed this energy or this belief of the Most High being all male. And so you end up addressing the Most High as Father and he or him. In my own personal experience, I can say that I also fell into that particular belief system, mainly because that's all I knew. That's what I was taught. But the more that I began to awaken, the more that I started to gain a lot of clarity simply by being out in nature. But I first had to remove myself. I had to first remove myself and give myself permission to think way outside of the box. I had to give myself permission to color outside of the lines. I had to give myself permission to be afraid, okay, of what I might discover and the things that I would have to actually release and let go of in during this spiritual journey, okay? Because it can be a fearful journey where you're very cautious. You don't want to do the wrong thing. You don't want to take the wrong path. You don't want to veer off into something that takes you away from the Most High. But you have to go down the journey if you really want to discover the truth through your own personal relationship. So, as I'm giving myself permission, I've removed myself from religion and anything that was more traditional, right? And I said, okay, I'm just going to allow myself to just be and to experience. I know for a fact that I was never going to release my relationship with the Most High. Never. I can't, because I'm a child of the Most High. However, I also understood that I was going to have to release certain ways of praying, certain deities that I was attached to. The one specifically was Jesus, praying to Jesus, and, specific rituals and things that, I was indoctrinated or conditioned to believe was the right way and the only way. But as I continue to take my journey, I started connecting with nature. Nature is your greatest teacher. So the first part of discovery with nature, of course, began with myself. I had to dive deep within myself and start exploring my personal hangups, my traumas, learning about me on a biochemical level, emotional, spiritual, mental level, and also evaluating my relationship with the male and female dynamics that I've had in my life, whether it was uh, concerning my parents, mother and father, or whether it was concerning sister, brother, or my relationship dynamics. I had to explore the masculine and feminine interactions that I've had throughout my life, as well as the masculine and feminine energy that is within myself. I had to determine, was I leaning too far into my feminine? Was I leaning too far in my masculine? I discovered that I was leaning very far into my masculine because I always found myself in protective mode, ready to go to war or battle because I had been through so much. And so I had to find a balance between my masculine and feminine energy, learning how to nurture myself more, learning how to heal myself, tapping into my own intuition. All of that is concerning my feminine energy. So that part of nature I had to discover within myself. Then outside of myself, I began to connect with nature in general. Mother Earth. We like to refer to Earth as the mother because the earth gives birth to all of nature. Okay? And so connecting with Earth, grounding, you know, watching the animal kingdom, watching the insects, watching the birds, watching the clouds and how they move, feeling the wind. And, then there's this other aspect of discovery where you're learning about astrology, you're learning about the sun, the moon, the planets, and even they all have labels of masculine versus feminine. And I was able to come to one common theme is that the Most High speaks a particular language through our interaction here in a 3D. If you want to know who the Most High is, look at the creation of the Most High, starting with yourself. Look at the creation of the Most High, and that's going to help you to determine, is the Most High all male? Is that even possible when the expression of the Most High is always through masculine and feminine, male and female, 99.9% of the time? Is it possible for the Most High to be all male when you yourself are created in the image of the Most High and yet you possess an XY chromosome? Is it possible for the Most High to be all male? But see, we have to really consider the reasons behind this patriarchal God that's been created, right? You have to look at the system, look at the powers that were and how they operate. By now, many of you have awakened and, you've detached yourself from the matrix, so you see right through it. And you know that there is a group of so-called elites, right? And they're predominantly males, male beings, because I don't know what type of being they are, but they are a virus to the body for sure. But they are predominantly male beings who have decided that they rule the world. They are God. And they placed an image out there for the world to, accept and to receive and to pray to. And they told you this is the only way. You have to go through this particular being in order to get to the source. But when you do further research, you find that that particular being is connected to very low vibrational energy. Okay. And I'm talking about, most of the world, the so-called elite has tried to force feed this particular image to most of the world, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, your traditional practices, how far you go back. They've been going around, either forcing it on people or really fooling people into the illusion that this European Jesus is in fact God, and that the only way to connect with the Most High is through that particular image. Now, if we go back to this particular understanding, we're talking about the Most High mother and father, the way that you accept the mother, because it's hard to deprogram yourself. Once you awaken to the fact that the Most High is male and female, there's a mother, there's a father energy that surrounds us, that has created us, that protects us. Once you accept that, it's difficult to transition from saying Father God, to saying the Most High Mother and Father. It can be a difficult transition, but it becomes easier and easier the more that you get in touch and in tune with your own feminine energy. The more that you get in tune with nature, Mother Nature, the more that you get in tune with your intuition, connecting with the moon, which is also considered feminine energy, connecting with water, cleansing your energy, that is also considered feminine energy. Healing from the wounds associated with your mother is also considered a great way of connecting with the source, the Most High Mother. And the more that you nurture yourself, you heal yourself, and you get in tune with your creativity, the more that you find yourself building a stronger connection with the mother aspect of the Most High. You can't miss it when you really start to give yourself permission to explore creation. You start to see that there's a specific pattern, a pattern that it always repeats itself between masculine and feminine energy, but even through images and patterns in nature and within the human body, the cells, atoms, the solar system, the bark of a tree, your fingerprints. I mean, there are so many things that you can explore to see that there's a consistency that repeats itself, and that the Most High is very consistent in terms of how the Most High Mother and Father communicates with us to remind us that, if you want to know anything about me, just explore what I have placed within you and around you, and that's where you will find your answers. And so this is why it's so important to not allow conditioning and societal influence to determine your connectedness to the Most High Mother and Father. You have to explore this on your own. You have to gather this information on your own through an open mind, though. You have to walk in and go in with a clean slate, cleansing all that you have been taught from the time that you was born. And you have to free yourself of the fear of judgment by others, because you're going to come into realizations that most of the world is going to have a hard time accepting until the energy is completely shifted, right? Until the head completely becomes the tail and humanity is back in alignment again. The powers that were have to be dethroned. That's where, we will get to that place eventually, where there is an acceptance of truth. There is an acceptance of truth. And, people are not so fixated and submerged in traditional beliefs that they cannot see the patterns and the way that the Most High communicates through creation. And so you have to stay in alignment with your path. Don't get derailed by people trying to come in to tell you, no, you're wrong, because this book that was written by man says otherwise, right? Or these scientists say otherwise. Scientists that don't even believe in the Most High, first of all, okay? Now, I'm not saying all scientists don't believe in the Most High, but many of them do not. And so when you look at it from that perspective and you realize that most of what has been fed to us has been all illusions, smoke screens, just to keep a particular group of people in power and in control over the entire world, then you start to say, okay, I can easily do away with all of that and accept that this is my experience. I'm a spirit having a human experience. And so in my experience, I will explore. I will discover what my relationship with the Most High really looks like and how it's meant to be expressed. No one can tell you how to pray. No one can tell you how to connect. No one can tell you if you are connected. But a lot of people think that they have the blueprint, that books, particular books, give them the blueprint on who the Most High is, when nature and creation is your best. It's your best resort if you want to learn about the Most High Mother and Father. It's the best image, okay? And it dates back since the beginning of time, consistently, and it has not changed in terms of the patterns. We evolve, of course, And, you know, we evolve to higher consciousness, and so does the planet, so does the animal life, all of these things, everything evolves, but the energy of creation still remains the same. And so, yes, male and female is the blueprint that the Most High has given us to understand who the Most High Mother and Father is. And that's how I was able to determine that I no longer wanted to address the Most High as simply masculine energy. I have a mother and I have a father. And you know what's beautiful about coming into that realization is that you begin to see, if you grew up, let's just say for me, for instance, I didn't really have a mother figure that was that nurturing energy that I could really call a mother, because my biological mother left early. She transitioned early in my life. Um, and, you know, the person who adopted me, she was very distant, very emotionally detached, you know, very much so leaning in her masculine. So there was not much of a mothering energy that I was able to experience coming up. But when I awakened and realized that the Most High is both mother and father, that was like a big hug from both parents to realize that I've always had both mother and father. It was never void. It was never absent. It was always, they was always present. I just had to find them. I just had to discover, remember that I came from both mother and father even before I was placed in the womb of my biological mother. I had already possessed a mother and a father since the beginning of time and always will. And so once you come into that realization, you never feel like a like an orphan or a bastard. You know that you have both and they're always readily available to you. All you have to do is tap in, connect, get out into nature, connect, and just remember where you came from. So that's my message. I hope that it helped to bring you all some clarity, you know, and gives you the confidence to explore both mother and father, and recognizing that the Most High is both. That's going to open up so many doors for you. It's going to be so healing for you to know that you have both mother and father that's always there, always has been there, and always will be there, that you can reference and go to. And so that's my message for you all. I love you. If you want to add anything to this message in terms of how you've come into the realization, wow, a cardinal just flew by. If you want to add anything to the message of how you have come to realize that the Most High is both mother and father, or if you have anything, you know, even if you feel like the Most High is all father, let us know what your foundational, you know, where did that begin? Was it placed within you through conditioning, or is that truly what you have always believed without external, even through your spiritual discovery, you still came to the conclusion that the Most High is all masculine energy? Let us know. I'll be interested in reading your comments. I love you. If you want a private reading, order my miniature altars, my t-shirts, tarot decks, tarot lessons, feel free to check the email, the description box for my email, and I'll talk to you all next time.